Well, I'm gonna raise a fuss and I'm gonna raise a holler about working all summer just to try to earn a dollar. Every time I call my baby to try to get a date, my boss says, no die son, you gotta work late. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, but there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Hey, how you doing? Justin here today. We're checking out the Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. This is a really great fun tune, this one. So let's start by having a look at the chords. So the chords that we need for this are E, regular open E chord, A chord, regular old open A, B7 in the open position, and back to E. Now what's really fun about this tune is the way that the chords sit in the rhythm. So it's all going to be about the count really to get this kind of I'm going to show you this main chordy kind of a riff first of all. This is the key to learning the whole song. So what we're going to do, we're starting off with a down strum that's actually a mute. 1, then and 2 and 3. Okay, so the A chord is coming on beat 3. Mute and 2 and 3. On the A. Hit, up, down, up, down. Hit, up, down, up, down. Hit, up, down, up, down. That's the B7, so hit, B7, up, down, on the E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Up, down, 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 up, down. Okay, so that's the first thing that you really want to get yourself familiar with, is playing that pattern. It's a little bit tricky if you've not done that kind of thing before, but it's definitely the kind of thing that after a bit of slow practice, as usual, slow practice, careful practice, getting it right maybe 10 times at this speed, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, you know, doing it that slowly over and over again and making sure that you get it absolutely spot on, it actually becomes pretty simple and it should just feel comfortable under your fingers. So that's the first part. Now, in the verses, there's a little part where he's singing, and you could just play, I'm gonna raise a holler. You can play just a regular E chord, but it sounds cool to kind of copy the bass there a little bit. We're starting with the first finger in the 6th fret of the 5th string, and then we hammer on the 2nd finger into the 7th fret of the 5th string. So it's down, hammer, down, up is the picking. Down, hammer, down, up. Down, hammer, down, up, down, hammer, down, up. Cool. You can see that our muted bit gives us a chance to move between the two bits. So from here, a bit slower, travel, riff, travel, travel, travel. You can see this sound actually doesn't have to down, down, up, down. If I keep doing it like this. Can you see this hand just keeps moving more or less? It's keeping the same direction. It really helps you keep your time on for that section of it. So let's put all of that together now. So we're going to start off with a little bass riff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guitar riff. And again. Back to the bass riff. And I'm gonna raise a fuss and I'm gonna raise a holler. Guitar. Bass. And I'm walking on trying to earn a dollar. Guitar. Hey. now this part, we've just got a little A chord. We're using our first finger to do a little bar on the 3rd and 4th strings at the 2nd fret. And we're going to put our 3rd finger down in the 4th fret of the 4th string on beats 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's very similar to something that we learned in the beginner's course there. But this, it's like a strummy kind of, a bit more 60s, early 60s version really. So strumming just the 5th, 4th and 3rd strings. Using down and up strumming still. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting that 3rd finger down. So, my baby, try to get a date. Boss, that's an E chord, bit of stab. Play the chord and then mute it straight away. Boss says, no doubt, son, you gotta work late. I wonder what I'm gonna do, 'cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. It's a really good fun tune, this one. So get the guitar riff down first, make sure you've got the strumming nice and consistent, the hand is moving, that you can play the riff with the chords right, little muted bits in between. Remember, just relaxing your fingers and touching all of the strings will give you the mute in case you're struggling with that part. One thing you might like to try that sounds pretty cool with that bass riff is, instead of playing it in the normal place with the pick, is to move it right back as close to the bridge as you can. It's got a real kind of I'm not sure what the word is, crisp and just sounds cool, sounds very of the period as well. That's a good little trick for that part. In the rock and roll, another thing that you might like to try is putting a little bit of palm mute on. Instead of just leaving it open. If you just rest the outside of your strumming hand just on the edge where the strings meet the bridge, get that pretty cool little sound. And of course, remember, with those stabs, when you're going to play a chord and stop it immediately, make sure you use the whole outside part of your hand. Practice getting a good mute so all of the strings are really muted, because if it's half muted it sounds a little bit ropey. So I think that's all for this tune. Have a lot of fun with it. I think this is another really good band one. I seem to be doing a run of songs that are really, really good for playing in a band. If you know, in your first band, this is the kind of song that's loads of fun to play. And hope you enjoy it. I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.